Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Zwade, and we're going to be talking full spoilers for Avengers Infinity War. The movie been out for the past 2 days and I'm still having trouble processing exactly what I saw. It was so friggin' amazing, okay? But just some housekeeping. If you haven't seen the movie as yet, please go watch Avengers Infinity War. Alright? I don't want to spoil this for you. You'll be doing yourself a disservice if you continue to watch this video because I'm going to be going really deep into spoilers, and you don't want that. I don't want that for you. So go watch a movie, pause this video, put it on watch later, then come back and we'll continue and have a nice discussion in the comment section below. Remember to like and subscribe, okay? But before you leave, just one final word of advice. If you're gonna watch this movie, you should definitely have seen the last 4 Marvel movies, I would say, which will be Doctor Strange, Civil War, Black Panther, and Thor. Those are really the 4 movies that you should have seen. Will give you a full understanding of what you'll be seeing when you watch Avengers Infinity War. Marvel's Avengers Infinity War is a combination of 10 years worth of intense storytelling spanning 18 movies, okay, that are now left in the hands of the Russo brothers, who once again deliver an awesome product. Joe and Anthony Russo, starting from Captain America Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War, has once again delivered for Marvel. They know to tell a story with over 24 superheroes, high intense action, okay, landing punch after punch. Avengers Infinity War picks up 2 years after the events of Captain America Civil War and Black Panther, and in the immediate aftermath of Thor's Ragnarok.
I feel like everything's gonna work out fine.
From the get-go, you realize that this is not the light-hearted MCU of say 6 months ago, as Thanos and his children, the Black Order, laid waste to half of the Asgardian refugees. We see Heimdall is all but dead. Thor's head is snuggled neatly between Thanos' fingers as Thanos demands Loki hand over the Tesseract. Loki then introduces a Hulk, who for a brief moment we thought had a chance of defeating the Mad Titan. Loki, after giving Thanos the Tesseract, tried to redeem himself by attempting to kill Thanos, who then end up squeezing the life out of him as Thor watches helplessly. And for good measure, Thanos destroys his body along with the rest of the ship, telling us this time that there is no resurrection for our god of mischief. That scene alone was probably the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie, catapulting us into what to expect going forward for the next 2 hours and 20 minutes. It provided a great introduction as well to all our villains, who believe that they have a righteous and noble goal of wiping out half of the population of the world. Oh wait, no, half the population of the frigging universe. But it also showed us just how powerful Thanos is, that he could go toe-to-toe with the Hulk and win. It set up the events for the rest of the movie, sending the Black Order to Earth to collect the time stone from around Doctor Strange's neck, and to take the Mind Stone out of Vision's forehead, with Thanos embarking to nowhere to have a nice one-on-one conversation with the Collector. Guys, it's impossible to view Infinity War through the traditional lens of a normal movie. It just won't work. This is 10 years worth of storytelling, 18 movies of universe building. All that backstory is ingrained within the nature of this movie, and it's all worked so well. The guys over at Marvel and Disney, led by Kevin Feige, knows exactly what they're doing, and you can see that they pay so much attention to detail, that they love and have a passion for the story that they want to tell. Infinity War, while it may fall under the genre of comic book movie, it does raise a lot of moral ambiguity questions. You know, that gray area about love, family, and the sacrifices that heroes need to make. You know, the one versus the many argument. Is saving 1 or 2 lives worth the extinction of half the world, or universe in this case, population? The choices that our hero make determine the outcome. And have you questioning yourself, like, what would have been the right decision to make?
How you been, Buck?
Not bad for the end of the world. Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
Avengers Infinity War is Marvel at its best, okay? This is Marvel not changing their formula, using it in such a way to tell a very cohesive story with high stakes. And it pays the fuck off.
Perfectly balanced. I hope they remember you.
Avengers Infinity War may sound good on paper, but it shouldn't really work. It's over 24 superheroes to balance, spanning their each, I think is 8 separate franchises, we should say, to incorporate, each of which have their own special element that make them great. Put all that into this big pot to come up with a movie that tells a cohesive story in and of itself while still adding value to each of the separate brands. Mind fucked. But it does. And it pulls it off so good. It pays off. And then when you consider the fact that Black Panther made over $1.3 billion, he's dead. Spider-Man Homecoming and the deal with Sony, oh, he's dead too. Yeah, they killed those 2 characters. Oh, you like Doctor Strange? He's dead as well. Oh, you know the Guardians of the Galaxy? Yeah, let's kill like 70% of them. Gamora, Quill, Mantis, Drax, Groot. Oh, you like Heimdall? Gone. Loki, he gone as well.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose.
Infinity War was also so well balanced and well paced. The visual, the cinematography, all the action set pieces, everything flowed and worked so well, and it's everything and more you have come to expect from the MCU. And they have yet again delivered and set the gold standard of what to expect going forward. Nobody have been able to do what they do because they actually put in the groundwork and they're reaping all the rewards for it now. This movie really took you on a ride. It took you on a journey, and it was a very intense journey because it never really let up and let you have that moment to react properly to something, which was good. Like, I've seen people complain that it was too much, but I actually appreciate it, and I love the intensity at which they cut the movie. It's actually worked and held the movie, made it feel more grounded to what was really going on. Days later, I'm still processing it. I'm still shocked. I'm probably gonna see this movie 2 or 3 more times again, just so that I could fully grasp everything that happened in it. Because it took the bold step to end it abruptly at the snap of Thanos' finger. He did it. He wiped out half the population across the galaxy. With each passing second, you're left in shock and tears as someone you thought that was safe faded into dust. I'm having a really hard time reviewing this movie properly because it's just so much. Like, I want to talk about everything and I know I can't because it was just that good. As I said, it just really amazes me of the fact that how cohesive the narrative was, even though it was told from this perspective of Thanos, the villain. Even though they jumped from set piece to set piece, like it had over 10 different set pieces in this movie. Each one of those visually stunning, one from the other. Every single one of the set pieces that they went to, it all makes sense. They all told a story in and of itself, even if it was the smallest of spaces or the biggest of world, right? Just looking in the background away from all the actions that is taking place, you can see that this world, this place have a history, have a purpose towards it, that it felt real. And that's what amazes me about Marvel, that they pay so much attention to the minute detail that it actually works for them. It pays off for them in the long run. And this even translates to the characters. Like, As I said, there's over 24 plus different characters, and each one was given the moment to shine. But seriously, let's discuss Thanos. This was his movie, and he was the best part about it. Okay, I love that we got to see the story told from his perspective, essentially, because it helped us understand why he was doing what he was doing. While it's morally questionable, you actually was able to buy into his mission, his desire, and being told from his perspective, you was able to as well as get some real emotional result from him. What I'm saying is that the motion capture for this movie was really good, because all those little tiny facial movement that humans do, they were able to really capture that, and it was brought out onto the screen. You felt it. You felt when he was menacing. You felt when he was, being a fatherly figure. You felt that he did love Gamora. And I just want to touch on this aspect as well. Like, while I'm talking about Thanos, it was his interaction with Gamora that really brought out some of those elements. And it made you realize that at the end of the day, while he's a mad titan, he was a father. And from his perspective, he, he loved his daughter. It turns out that the only way that you could get the soul stone is to give a soul of the person the thing you love the most. And in this case, the thing Thanos loved the most was Gamora, but in her head, she was laughing at him because she was like, you did all of this, and to reach to the edge to get this stone, you can't get it because you don't love anything. And she's laughing at him, and then she see him cry, because we all realized at that time was, oh fuck, he really did care for her. They have a messed up relationship. No, they really do. But the fact that in all that chaos, he really felt that she was his daughter. And she could have never seen that until the last moment before she died. And Zoe Saldana gave an awesome performance throughout this movie. Kudos to her as well. Like, this was one of her best performances and of anything I seen her done. Like, she was given a lot to work with, and her and Josh Brolin really was the emotional anchors for this movie. Another heart-wrenching moment played really nicely because how they set it up. Like, they foreshadowed a lot of things from the beginning of the movie that end up paying off at the end of the movie. And this one was when we picked up with Tony Stark. He was talking to Pepper about a dream he had that, he think that they may be expecting a child. And when you look back on Spider-Man Homecoming, you know that Tony looked at Peter Parker, Spider-Man, like an adopted son, somebody that he really cared for and was grooming like a father would his own child. And to see, like, after Thanos has snapped his finger, Peter started to fade away, and to see Peter beg to Tony, you know that he's not ready to die as yet. To see the anguish in his eyes as he begins to fade away, it like really pulled at your heartstring. All of that just coalescing in that one moment, you realize how impactful Tony was to this little kid. The fact that Peter is a teen and, he's literally about to give his life for the rest of the universe. It was just so fantastically, amazingly sad. I don't know, words can't comprehend how I felt in that moment, but you heard like gasp throughout the rest of the audience. Like, I knew at one point my roommate, she was like, she said that moment made her like tear up a bit. And this movie had a lot of that. Those intimate moments of like, all the action is taking place, but yet still let's find the time to give two characters some moments to shine together, to build on that emotional story that they develop in their other movies, and to have it, pay off in this movie. It all worked. And this is why I say that you can't go into this movie without, watching Spider-Man Homecoming. You can't go into this movie without watching Guardians of the Galaxy, and to understand Gamora and Thanos dynamics, to understand Peter's and Tony's dynamic here, because you won't get that emotional payoff that is set up here. And I love the fact that Marvel, they don't give a damn. They made this movie the way they made this movie. It's not for a general audience. It's really and truly is not for everyone. You need to at least see in the last one movie, if not the entire universe.
There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people. to see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
So given that this review, I cannot go into every single detail and give you like a plot-by-plot play of what exactly happened. What I am going to do is give you some of my best pairing and the moments that really, stand out and what I could actually recall 2 days later after seeing the movie, okay? So this is my list of the moments that really stood out to me. Iron Man and Doctor Strange, the Sherlock team-up, as I like to think about it. Peter Quill and Peter Parker, like, two little kids in a playground. Another moment that had a bit more emotional weightage was like the Rocket and Thor team up with Groot, where they went to get Thor's new hammer, Stormbringer. Thor is telling Rocket about the fact that it's only been like a few days where he lost his father, he lost his sister, he lost his entire world, he lost his brother, he lost his best friend. Rocket is showing that he does have a little tiny heart and some level of emotional support he's given to Thor. Another pairing that worked well, I wouldn't even say there's a pairing, like Drax. Let's just take a minute and mourn for the loss of Drax, because Dave Bautista does a fantastic job of playing this character. Once again, who would have known that he could be a comedy genius? Another pairing that worked was Black Widow and Okoye, Denai Guerrero's character. What I like to call the femme fatale, and then Scarlet Witch jump into that as they are fighting Proxima Midnight, and all that was nice to see all those ladies really shine on screen, and I really hope somehow we are able to get an all-female like Marvel movie. I want to see what that looks. Another pairing that worked, even if it was very short and very quick, was Cap and Black Panther. Given the fact that I guess for over the last 2 years they've been working so close together, it was nice to see Cap and Black Panther going toe-to-toe with each other. We also have Bucky and Rocket. They just gunning it out. A spin around shot of they just shooting people, the gunbusters as I like to call them. But in addition, like, you really got the sense that they weren't just fighting for their lives, but for everyone else's. And you really got the weight of the universe, like what's really was really at stakes. But hands down, I think the most valuable player on the hero side has to go to Thor, because his development, if you follow directly from Thor Ragnarok throughout this movie, and the fact that he took that blast from the dying star to be able to get his weapon, Stormbringer, and the fact that when he landed back on Earth, he just kicked fucking ass non-stop. He also almost came very close to killing Thanos. Like, it shows, as I said, it shows his level of power where he reached within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But sadly, all good things must come to an end, right? Right after Thanos was able to grab and rip the Mind Stone from out of Vision's head, and he turned from purple to gray, and I think I heard people crying. It just did. Because in that moment, he got all of the 6 Infinity Stones. Like, our heroes could not stop him. Like, it was freaking incredible. And as he put the sword into the gauntlet, Thor's hammer, axe, whatever you want to call it, Stormbringer, cut into his chest, like, bam! And once again, the Russos give us that brief moment of hope where we thought that the heroes won. But didn't, because you just hear the Mad Titan said, "You should have aimed for my head," and then the first person we see die after Thanos snaps his finger is Bucky, and all he said was Cap, and then you just saw him like turn to dust, like black ash just floating away. And then we see Okoye, and like, in my heart I was like, no, they can't kill off Denai Guerrero. And you see Black Panther run up to her to try to comfort her, and then he started to fade away, and in that moment you're like, what the fuck? They're really killing Black Panther? And then you see, Sam Falcon, he started to fade away. The Scarlet Witch fades away, Groot fades away, Mantis, Drax, Quill, Peter, they all start to fade away. Doctor Strange, telling Tony that we're in the end game, because he foresaw like I think over 14 million different scenarios and only saw one in which they win. He knew that he had to give Thanos the time zone in order for them to win somehow, in order for them to survive. So it really, while in that moment you was grieving for all the death, it did give us a brief of hope that somehow in the next movie they have to come up with a way to either bring those characters back or trade places even. Like, you really don't know where the MCU is going next, and it's kind of refreshing. Like, you can't really predict what's going to happen, and that is actually fucking interesting as a super Marvel fan, to be in that position where like my brain could just run wild now, coming up with multiple different scenarios of what could possibly happen. But at the end of the day, like they end the movie with the villain looking out into the sunset in his little shack in some planet that is beautiful, by the way. It was a freaking beautiful sunset, with a smile on his face, even though his entire arm was damaged, because I guess he didn't fully understand the power of the Infinity Stone, using it all together, or something probably backfired, we don't know. But in his mind, he accomplished his goal, he accomplished his mission, and he's about to take a well-needed rest. And when you think about it, that the fact that this movie was told from his perspective, like, it really and truly, looking at it from traditional lens, that this is Thanos' movie, so he won. But at the end of the day, it's a superhero movie where the superhero lost. Like, it was such a somber ending that we were never given before in like the MCU. Like, you were left to really dig deep and feel the pain and sorrow. So overall, Avengers Infinity War was just amazing. It honestly surpassed any of my expectation going in, and I had really high expectations for this movie, but I'm left like really satisfied with everything that the movie did. I have been on this MCU train for the past 12 years, from where they started when they announced Iron Man, and I am really happy that I stuck with it and it paid off in this way. And I'm honest to God looking forward to the next 12 months for when the Avengers, whatever number 4 is going to be, comes out. They're really keeping that a secret. So in conclusion, the villain won, our hero lost. Iron Man and Nebula, I think, is still on Titan. I think they have the Milano still where they could fly off to come back to Earth, but they are left on Titan. We have most of the original Avengers team still alive, so that is Cap, Black Widow, Hulk, well, Bruce Banner, War Machine, Hawkeye, well, he was in the movie, and Thor, and Rocket. Rocket is the only surviving member of the Guardian of the Galaxy. Honestly, they kill off most of the characters from the phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But it's no wonder that this movie is setting records all across the world. Like, it had one of the biggest Friday nights opening. Like, it potentially will pass Fate of the Furious of having one of the biggest first weekend outing. Fate of the Furious made, I think, over $500 million. This movie, in just Friday nights alone, globally, made over $280 million. Alright? So by the end of this weekend, by the time this video is posted, it could have possibly already made like $500 or $600 million, because it only made 280 in the first day, including Thursday night. Right? Fucking insane. So I have no doubts that Avengers Infinity War could possibly beat Avatar as having the biggest box office of all time, over $2 billion. Let's see how it goes. Let's see if it have legs, or let's see if it's just front loading and only fans like myself really enjoyed it. So guys, let me know what you think, okay? Let me know what some of your theories are, how they're gonna get T'Challa back, or is Shuri gonna become Black Panther? Is Miles Morales going to come into the Spider-Man universe now, or they're gonna find some way to get people back? Do they have to trade souls you know, to get the souls that were captured back from the soul stones. Like, there's many different freaking theories that could be developed now just because it left us with such a freaking rewarding cliffhanger. Like, it's so awesome. Like, I'm going to watch a movie again for a third time because there's some things that I still need to see if I can get some possible additional answers, and, you know, to show the love and support that I have for this franchise. So, guys, let me know what you think about the movie. Let's have a discussion in the comment section below. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about my reviews, if I should stop doing it, you know. It's all for good fun, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.